You know, when you think about it, the technology at the very heart of every camera, every telescope, every microscope, it hasn't really changed for centuries. It's always been a curved piece of glass. And look, it's served us well, but it's also heavy, it's bulky, and frankly, it's hit a wall. Today, we're going to talk about the revolution that's about to change all of that.
Now, that is a bold statement, right? But it perfectly captures the sheer scale of the change we're talking about. We are standing right on the edge of a massive shift, a move away from what you could call the age of glass and into something totally new, something that's flat, microscopic, and unbelievably powerful.
So, what's the big problem we're trying to solve here? Well, you could call it the tyranny of glass. For 200 years, if you wanted to bend light, you needed bulk. You needed thick, curved hunks of material. And that ancient rule is holding back some of our most futuristic devices. And this slide, this really breaks it down. On the left, you've got the old way, physically shaping heavy glass, a process you measure in centimeters. And on the right, the new way, printing tiny, tiny structures onto flat silicon, a digital process measured in nanometers. We're talking about a fundamental leap from grinding things down to printing things out, from bulky to basically invisible. And we all feel these limits every single day, right? I mean, professional photographers have to lug around these enormous, heavy bags of glass. And all of us, we've lived through the smartphone paradox. The phone itself keeps getting thinner, but that camera bump on the back, it just keeps getting bigger. That's glass fighting a battle against physics it just can't win.
So, what's the answer? Well, it's a technology called a metasurface. And the core idea here is so radical, it almost sounds like science fiction. A lens that is perfectly 100% flat. No curves, no bulk. Just a thin, wafer-like sheet that does the exact same job as a big stack of heavy glass.
And here's the secret sauce. A metasurface is basically a microscopic forest of tiny pillars. And when I say tiny, I mean it. We're talking billions of them, each one engineered to be smaller than a single wavelength of light itself. So it's not the overall shape of the material that's bending the light anymore. It's these billions of individual structures all working together in perfect harmony.
Okay, this is where the real magic happens. We're moving away from just bending light with a big chunk of material to actually sculpting it, nanometer by nanometer. This is a complete reimagining of what a lens even is.
Okay, so imagine light traveling as a perfectly flat sheet, like a piece of paper. As it hits the metasurface, each of those tiny pillars acts like a microscopic speed bump, slowing down its own little bit of the light wave by a very specific amount. By controlling the shape and size of every single pillar, you can reshape that flat sheet of light into a perfectly curved, perfectly focused wave coming out the other side. It's incredible. And here is the absolute game changer: scalability. Because you're not slowly grinding and polishing glass anymore, you're printing. You're using the exact same technology that makes computer chips. That means you can manufacture thousands of these perfect microscopic lenses all at once on just a single wafer of silicon. What this really represents is a full-blown industrial revolution for optics. We're literally moving lens manufacturing out of these old-school mechanical factories and into the same high-tech semiconductor foundries that build our computer processors. The whole process goes from being mechanical to being digital.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, but for the longest time, there was this one massive catch, a huge problem that kept this incredible technology stuck in the lab, and that was the rainbow problem. With the early versions of these flat lenses, different colors of light would all focus at different points, which, creates a blurry, totally useless image. So can it actually handle color?
And the answer is yes. The breakthrough came with something called achromatic lenses. By designing these unbelievably complex nanopillars, pillars actually engineered to slow down different colors of light by different precise amounts, scientists finally cracked the code. They can now force red, green, and blue light all to the exact same focal point. This was the final hurdle to making this technology practical.
So, with the physics solved and the manufacturing ready to go, what does this actually mean for us, for the devices we use every day? This is where it gets really, really exciting. First things first, say goodbye to the camera bump. Seriously, it's gone. This technology allows for cameras so impossibly thin they can be embedded directly into the body of a phone, which means our devices can finally be perfectly sleek and flat again.
Or, hey, think about virtual and augmented reality. You know why today's headsets are so big and heavy? It's those thick, stacked lenses you need to focus a screen that's an inch from your eyes. Well, Metalenses could slash that weight by up to 70%. We're talking about turning bulky VR goggles into something that feels as light and comfortable as a regular pair of glasses.
And the applications in medicine, they're just staggering. You could mount a Metalens on the tip of an optical fiber and create an endoscope that's literally the width of a human hair. Imagine a camera that a doctor could guide through your arteries to get a live, high-resolution video feed from inside your brain or your heart. It's completely transformative.
But believe it or not, even all of that is just the beginning. The ultimate goal, the true end game for this tech, is to make our optics not just flat, but fully programmable.
Get ready for the concept of an active metasurface. Imagine a lens where you can change the properties of all those little nanopillars just by sending an electrical signal. You could zoom from an ultra-wide-angle shot to a super telephoto shot instantly, with zero moving parts, no whirring motors, no shifting glass, just a silent, instantaneous change.
And that brings us to this final, truly mind-bending idea. When your lens is a flat, programmable surface that you can print literally anywhere, what does a camera even become? It stops being a separate object you hold in your hand. The camera could be the entire back of your phone. It could be the windshield of your car. It could be the walls of your home. The camera is no longer a device, it's just a surface. And that's a fundamental shift in how we'll see and capture the world around us.